Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of the Nothing to See Here podcast. Hi, it's me. It's Frankie. Hello.
Yeah, it's Hannah.
Guys, BAP is back, y'all.
What?
You guys know, I know you have no idea. BAP is a K-pop group that was gone for a real long time. They disbanded in 2018, and they have now come back under a new group name.
What's their new group name?
Uh, it is Bang and June. Bang and Jung and Yoon and Moon.
So they just use their names.
Yeah.
Create
Yeah.
quite possibly one of the worst band names.
I'm sure they're gonna have something brand new when Zelo gets out of the military, but Zelo's not out of the military, so it's only the four of them right now. So, surprise.
Hopefully they come up with a much better name.
I mean, I'm sure they could. I'm from what I'm seeing, people are just calling them BJYM.
That's not a great name either.
It's still not great, yeah.
It's still not great, but their new song, "Gone," so good. Don't worry, Frankie.
I've heard that song. Ha! Got him.
You heard it?
Yeah, it's all over fucking TikTok. At least on my end of TikTok.
Oh, Amanda, I sent you the Australian breakdancing lady on TikTok.
I saw that.
Oh,
wait,
God.
Pause this for a minute. Pause this because I need to. You have K-pop TikTok?
No, I don't have K-pop TikTok. I just have TikTokers that use K-pop songs.
Ah, okay. Anyway, back to Australian lady.
Jesus Christ.
I watched the whole performance. What the fuck happened? What happened? I mean, I get
By the way,
a lot of pressure. I get it.
Who cares about that? Do better. I don't care. Also, think about this though, guys. Think about this. That performance was awful and embarrassing.
Yeah.
She's the best they have because she beat other people to qualify for the team. You got to compete to get on the team to go to the Olympics.
To be fair,
she stood by that, by the way, guys.
Good for her.
I wouldn't have. No,
fair,
not good for her.
No, yeah, it's good for her. She made it to the Olympics. She's an Olympic athlete.
Own up to your mistakes, all right? You got to come out and go, all right, that wasn't my best effort.
To be fair, I did watch other performances by her, and it was a lot better.
Yeah, yeah.
So what happened here?
Jesus, Frankie.
It was bad.
I just heard about it
today,
because me and Hannah went to Old Bedford Village.
She was so upset because she couldn't find the video.
I was really upset. The breaking community defends B-girl Ray Gun and offers mental health support
for her.
After online criticism, she as a mental health advocate, she's taken a lot of flack right now.
Listen, here's the thing. When you come on to the global stage and you do something for a worldwide audience, you know you're on TV, you're going to catch some flack if you do something bad. It's going to be worse, especially from Americans, if you're coming from Australia, when all the Australians were fucking at the beginning of the Olympics, when they happen to have a few more medals than us, we're going, oh yeah, we're winning the Olympics this year. We're going to crush the United States. Look at you now, Australia. Look at you now.
Ricky, do you have something against Australia?
No, I just get listen, the Olympics does something to me. I'm glad this is the last day. 2 weeks out of every 2 years. You guys know from going to college with me that I'm one of the first people to criticize this country and its government whenever it does something. But 2 weeks every couple years, I get that fucking Olympic bug.
Can I read some of the quotes?
Yeah, go ahead.
Somebody wrote on Twitter, mistakes were definitely made, folks, but the biggest one was communication by Reagan's family and friends. It's rare, but not telling someone they can't dance can have global implications.
Australian breakdance lady, I'm sorry, I don't know your name, but congratulations, you've become a meme, and that is my life's goal.
That is good. Yeah, she'll always be remembered. I don't know if this is what she wants to be remembered for, but
it's surprising that Ray Gun from Australia is the top breaker. The kangaroo move? How did she make it this far? She should have swapped the kangaroo for a banana to really stand out. What is this? Seriously, is breakdancing really an Olympic event?
There was also, I just saw ballet x hip hop.
I didn't see that.
I just saw that on TikTok before I took a shower. I did
Oh.
not dive into that, but I will be after we finish recording.
After her performance, Gunn told reporters from ESPN, "All of my room moves are original. Creativity is really important to me. I go out there and I show my artistry. Sometimes it speaks to the judges and sometimes it doesn't. I do my thing and I represent art, and that's what it's about."
I'm glad that she was able to express herself creatively.
Another tweet: Australia just set breakdancing back 40 years.
God, yikes. It was so bad.
I know no one's taking the Olympics breakdancing seriously, but Australia just pulled a drunk chick off of a bar stool to compete.
I also heard that in 2028, breakdancing might not be back at the Olympics.
Well, they have to make room for a sport that's going to cause. So I saw a tweet earlier today that was someone who tweeted the scene from Spider-Man 3 of Peter Parker tearing Venom off of him.
Yeah.
And it was like quoted with something like me ripping the irrational patriotism off of me now that the Olympics are over.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
do you know what sport they're adding to the 2028 Summer Olympics that's going to cause me to go fucking mental because we're just going to
Pickleball.
crush them all? They might be, but they're adding American flag football. We're going to fucking cream these people.
Oh my god, that's gonna be violent.
There's just going to be NFL players crushing
Oh my god.
people from fucking Sweden. What
Guys,
are they
it's
going
my
to do?
time. I'm gonna try out for the female flag football team. I'm
are the
really
s-
good at ripping flags off of people.
What are the
got-
joke.
Swedes going to do? We're going to fucking murder them.
I got
That's
more
why I'm going, guys.
I got more tweets. I'd like to personally thank Ray Gunn for making millions of people worldwide think, maybe I can make it to the Olympics too. This one has a video clip to it. This is my 5-year-old niece after she says, "Watch this."
She got 0 points.
Did she really?
Yes,
Oh.
I'm pretty
no.
I'm pretty sure she got 0 points.
Oh, I would have given her 1.
This one has what is it, Stefan from SNL, the character. The 2024 Paris Olympics hottest event is breakdancing. It has everything: a tiny Lithuanian girl in a durag named Mika, a 36-year-old Australian PhD student named Raygun, and millions of people all over the world wondering who okayed this.
It was me. I was the decision maker. You're welcome.
The Aussie B-girl Raygun dressed as a school PE teacher, complete with cap, while everyone else is dressed in funky breaking outfits, has me dying.
Honestly, that was my biggest question, was why bad windbreaker outfits?
Can we talk about the fact that so I brought up the scores. She competed 3 times and got 0 points in all 3 of them. She didn't score a single point over 3 chances.
Okay.
I want Raygun, the 36-year-old Australian breakdancer possessed by the spirit of Julia Stiles in Save the Last Dance, to know that I am now her biggest fan and she should never stop doing whatever it is she's trying to do.
Oh, one of the judges said why she scored 0 points.
Why?
Breaking head judge Martin Gillen said the score wasn't a sign she did terribly, and said the breaking community definitely stands behind her. There are 5 criteria that the judges look at, and her level was maybe not as high as that of her competitors. Apparently, she was supported by her surroundings. That's why she did the kangaroo thing.
So that was just a spur of the moment?
No, I think she based it on like being from Australia, so she danced like a kangaroo.
She's a college professor with a PhD. That's
Oh,
not.
You know what?
see,
She's gonna be the most popular professor next year.
No, absolutely not. She's not.
No.
There's 2 paths here, Hannah. There's that path where she's the most popular professor, or or maybe both of these can happen at the same time. She can never discipline a student again because no one can fucking take her seriously or have respect for that.
No.
You lose all aura and respect.
What's her PhD in?
Cultural studies, I think. Yeah, she has a PhD in cultural movement.
She's a dance teacher.
I'm gonna die. I'm actually. this might be it, guys. Oh my gosh.
Hey, we can talk about this all night, to be fair. I don't mind.
It's better than our actual topic.
I wish we could just review her breakdancing routines.
We just review the entirety of the 2024 Paris Olympics.
I could go through the Olympics and talk about how great they were, but
We
Jordan,
did not
what's
get to
her
talk
name?
about.
Had to give back her bronze. What's
Who?
that about? Jordan Childs? She had to give back her bronze.
no, all of America is now coming together to guard the bronze medal. No, they're actually filing a lawsuit. So now the world's going to learn not only are we great at gymnastics, but the United States also great at litigation.
Can you explain to me what the fuck happened?
Okay, I will try to explain what happened to you. Hannah, do you know what happened?
No.
Only what Amanda has told me, which was not very helpful.
So they appealed her score
Why?
on our team appealed her score.
Okay,
Why?
first question. Was she in like 4th place?
She was in 5th.
She was in 5th place. Okay. And the
They-
team didn't think her score was correct.
They thought there was an error in scoring.
Okay.
I don't know why they thought there was an error in scoring. But if you think there's an error in scoring, because sometimes like the reason you lose a point is you landed outside of the line.
Yeah.
I think so this isn't what happened, but just say they thought she landed in the line. Judges said she landed out. You can appeal that. And they have to look at footage.
Yes.
And it can alter your score. You have a minute to file the appeal with the judges on site of the event. The IOC or the Court of Arbitration for Sport are saying that the inquiry we filed about her score was late and wasn't within the minute. And so she actually is in 5th place, and so she has to give the bronze back.
But then America's saying, no, we did it in the minute.
America is saying we definitely did it in the minute, that it was submitted 47 seconds after her score was published.
Okay. Okay. Got it.
Do we have proof of that?
They say USA Gymnastics says they have a time-stamped video.
That's pretty solid evidence then. If that is true.
How many cameras were rolling?
Probably a ton. So what happened is they failed to give her a difficulty boost because that's one of the score elements. And because they failed to do that, that's what caused us to file the inquiry.
Gotcha. So now we're like, nah, we're keeping this medal.
Well, we're appealing
IOC.
the what was the court called? The Court of Arbitration for Sport. We're appealing that to something. I don't know where that goes up to, but we're filing an appeal with that, and they have the timestamp video. So
we'll keep you updated next week.
No, we won't. I'll forget about it.
I won't.
Frankie, keep us updated next week.
If I get any news alerts, you'll know.
Gotcha.
God, can it already be next week, please? I don't want to do this episode.
We can do it real fast, Frankie.
God.
We can talk about the dude who parkoured all around Paris in the opening ceremony.
I'd like to say, first of all, that I deserve compensation for having to watch this movie and review it and like go into a detailed recounting of it.
You chose this one.
I only took this one because you two
nobody...
took the other two and you didn't want it.
Listen, if it had come down to it, I would have taken this one.
I don't like any of those 3 movies, and so far, I'm standing correct.
I
won't argue with you on this movie being bad.
I was actually so much better than I expected. I left a voicemail for Franklin.
You did.
And did you listen to it?
I did.
What did it say, Frankie?
You were surprised about the hillbillies?
Yeah, I forgot about them.
Hey,
Listen,
Amanda also left me a voicemail today. She thought I died.
well, Hannah, it's nice that your ghost has come to record an episode with
I'd
us.
like to. She didn't respond to any of my texts. We get there
I was
early. They're not
10
there.
minutes late. I
It
was
was
10 minutes
15.
late and
You
she
were
freaked
15
out.
minutes late. You weren't answering any of my calls. You didn't answer my text message that I sent when leaving. You answered none of my text messages. What am I supposed to think? And then I'm
My
sitting with
phone
the
is on
peanut gallery.
silent. I don't want to hear that thing.
And then I'm sitting with the peanut gallery, and the peanut gallery is like, "Oh, I hope they didn't get into an accident," which then skyrockets my anxiety through the fucking roof.
All right. Well, we're reviewing our second Scooby-Doo movie tonight. Scooby-Doo Meets the Boo Brothers, released October 18th, 1987, part of the Hanna-Barbera Superstars 10 series, which aired as part of the Fantastic World of Hanna-Barbera programming block from 1987 to 1988, where they made 10 movies based on their most popular characters: Yogi Bear, the Flintstones, the Jetsons, Scooby-Doo, Huckleberry Hound, and Top Cat. The next two movies that we review, which are Ghoul School and Reluctant Werewolf, are also
Fuck
part of
yeah.
this same series. There's
Also,
not,
we are so close to releasing this episode on its anniversary.
are we? That's nice.
It's October 9th when this goes live.
There's not a lot about the history of this film and development because it was just like part of this little series. So I don't have much there. So we're just gonna go straight to the cast. Don Messick is Scooby and Scrappy Doo. Casey Kasem is Shaggy. Sorrel Book plays Sheriff Rufus Busby and another character.
Yeah, don't reveal it.
William Calloway plays Billy Bob Scroggins, Beauregard's Ghost, the Ape, the Ghost in the Attic, and Headless Horseman. And let me tell you, when the Ghost in the Attic is revealed, I thought it was Billy Bob as the ghost because he did not change his voice at all. Victoria Carroll plays Sadie Mae Scroggins. Jerry
Good for them.
Hauser plays Miko. Art Johnson plays Farquaad and the Skull Ghost. Rob Paulson
Yeah, Rob.
plays one of the which Boo brother? Sorry, it's not plays Shriko.
Rico.
Michael Rye plays the mayor, and Ronnie Shell plays Frico.
Yeah, I definitely knew Rob Paulson was Shriko because he just sounds like Yakko.
Yeah, I know. I recognized the voice, and I was like, oh. And then it was and Rob Paulson will be in a couple of other Scooby Doo things. Not as like any more big roles, but he is in a couple more. He'll be in Reluctant Werewolf, so we'll get to see Rob Paulson in that.
And we stan Rob Paulson.
Rob Paulson's great. Yeah, I love Rob Paulson. The film was first released on VHS by Hanna-Barbera Home Video and Kids Classics in the late 1980s, and later on Warner Home Video in 2000. Warner Home Video re-released Scooby-Doo Meets the Boo Brothers on DVD on May 6, 2003. And then, through the Warner Archive Collection to celebrate 100 years of Warner Brothers, the film was released on Blu-ray as part of a Hanna-Barbera Superstars 10 box set, where they remastered this film and the other 9 films in HD. Going to our IMDb reviews, this has a 6.9 out of 10.
That feels high.
It feels way too high.
I don't think it does.
The two reviews that we have, the first one, the 10 out of 10 review from Ilnick213 was left on August 13th, 2022. This was the
Recent.
first. Yeah, I know. They liked it. They loved it. 10
You
out of
said
10.
it was 10 out of 10. Yeah.
This was the first Scooby-Doo film, and it wasn't, and even without the rest of the Where Are You gang, one of Scooby's and Shaggy's most memorable outings. The animation work is darkly beautiful in a cartoon Twilight sense. The humor is snappy and timeless. All of the voice actors are clearly having fun and displaying their vast range of talent, except for I just want to name William Calloway is not. He's just doing the same voice. And there is one small scene with a breakdancing ghost that almost feels too hilarious and surreal for 1987. It's a classic and could single-handedly change any scrappy hater's mind.
I would actually agree with that one. Scrappy was kind of what was keeping me sane.
Scrappy was the best part of this movie. And
No, Scrappy felt too much like a, well, actually.
No, you're incorrect, Hannah.
Scrappy felt like the one keeping the movie on fucking track.
Yes.
And then our next review from Barry Knopf, left on Christmas Day of 2012. This is how he spent his Christmas. He wrote, "Could this be any worse? Shaggy finds out he has inherited his Uncle Beauregard's estate, and when he, Scooby, and the incredibly awful Scrappy show up, mayhem ensues. First, the Boo Brothers are a total ripoff of the Three Stooges, only it is an awful parody, and completely useless with regard to the plot. Not that there is a plot. Sadie Mae Scroggins and her brother that live next door are completely useless as well. The only reason I think they are in the movie is so they can shoot guns at Shaggy. Yes, I said shoot guns. The Scooby-Doo show was made because people didn't like violence on TV. What a screaming shame. If I could give this 0 stars, I would. Run, don't walk away from this movie." They really hated it.
That feels right. That feels right.
That feels a little extreme.
It's their 1 out of 10 review. They only left 1 star because they couldn't leave 0. Let's get into the actual movie. Shaggy's uncle has died. His uncle who served in the Civil War, apparently.
On what side?
Yeah, they don't tell us which side. He's in the South.
He's wearing gray.
He doesn't seem very sad about it either.
He's dead and left him his estate, Beauregard Manor, a plantation. This man owned slaves. This man.
Are you sure?
It's a southern plantation. He was a Civil War veteran.
He was a colonel in the South, and he wears gray.
This man, if he didn't own slaves, supported slavery. Come on, Shaggy. Do better. Have a better family.
That's not his fault.
I mean, as a bit of a spoiler, he does do a lot better.
He does. He is a better man. How does he discover that his uncle has died? A ghost delivers the will.
I'm not even sure he discovers that the uncle died.
He has the will, though.
He has the will, so I guess the lawyer called.
Well, no, because the opening scene is a ghost delivering the will through the wind.
Yeah, your fun little song.
Yeah, the ghost wants to scare everyone and everything on the planet. But this ghost, who then turns into a witch, who is she afraid of? The Boo Brothers. And we know she's super... We know she's super scared of them because she sings an entire fucking song about how scared she is of them.
This was a banger of an opening with beautiful visuals for the absolute shit that is about to happen.
Man, it went downhill. This movie started off on the highest high.
If we were ranking openings and the themes, this would be at the top.
It would be. It was great.
And in the 10 out of 10 review that you just read, the reviewer mentioned the beautiful Twilight-esque visuals. I have to come in and say this was a beautiful piece of Southern Gothic.
Yeah.
The animation is good for the movie.
Yes.
None of my problem with this is the animation.
Oh, wait. By the way, I remembered what I wanted to say. This is technically their first movie because Scooby Goes Hollywood was a TV
special. Yeah, I know, but we're counting it as a movie.
But you said they were incorrect. They're not incorrect.
They are incorrect by our standards, which are the correct standards. This is the definitive Scooby-Doo ranking and podcast, Amanda.
No, Frankie, they're not incorrect.
I think we've become the definitive Scooby-Doo podcast.
Since when?
Since I was forced to watch this fucking thing.
Jesus.
I hated this. I hated this so much. I felt sick earlier today while I was watching this.
You're such a baby.
Physically ill.
So you hated this when you watched it as a child, right, Frankie?
I did, and I wrote this at the end, but I'll say it now. It's worse than I remembered.
It's not.
Okay, I hated this one as a child, as well. And Amanda, you said you liked this.
It's better than I remembered. Yes.
I'm with Amanda. I hated this as a child, but I don't think it was as bad as I made it out to be in my mind.
Oh my god, I hate it. It's so much worse than I thought.
Listen, I'm not saying it's good.
It's way better than Scooby Goes Hollywood.
I wouldn't say way better.
I would. I watched this and I didn't cry.
I would say it's like if I'm doing it based on points, it's 1 point better.
Nah, 2.
It's 1 point better.
At least 2. Hannah, come on.
Yeah, I'm
Hannah.
with Amanda.
Oh my
Thank
god, I
you.
can't believe this. This movie was so bad that earlier I was debating whether it should be below or not, and I came to the conclusion it shouldn't be below, but it is so awful.
You're incorrect.
All right, when we get to the later stuff, I'll explain why I think it's awful. So Shaggy, Scooby, and Scrappy are going to the estate so they can claim Shaggy's inheritance. Shaggy's busy looking at the map and he hits a road close sign, sending him into the steering wheel and Scooby into the engine.
Dead. They're all dead.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they've
Period.
died,
They
except for
all
Scrappy.
died right here.
Except for Scrappy, he was fine.
Scrappy was never alive. Scrappy is a figment of their imagination.
Scrappy died when he got thrown off the train by his mom. They tempt fate and say it can't get much worse, so then it starts raining.
I love a good rainstorm.
Scooby sees a monster and veers the car into a ditch. This giant ape then helps them out of the ditch. Okay, here's point number 1 why this movie sucks. What's the fucking point of the ape and the circle plot line? That
Scooby
just
thought he was a monster. And we
that was
needed
so
to justify why
it
there
was-
was an ape.
it was so stupid. The ape could not be in this movie and it'd be fine.
Question. Was this the first film out of the 10 Hanna-Barbera films they did?
Out of the Superstar 10.
Yeah.
I think it is, yeah.
I feel like that shows because they didn't have a good story for this.
Let me see. Let me confirm that. Because I didn't write the order of the movies because we have the other 2 are also part of the Superstar 10. This is the second one.
Ooh, okay.
The first one is Yogi. This is the first Scooby one, obviously. The first one is Yogi. Yogi's Great Escape. I will say this: they didn't do Scooby-Doo again for an entire year after this one. Ghoul School doesn't come out until October 16th of 1988.
They took their time in crafting Ghoul School, okay?
As a kid, I also hated Ghoul School. Maybe
You were
my
incorrect.
hatred for Boo Brothers now will really make me appreciate Ghoul School.
Ghoul
Ghoul
School
School's
is a
amazing.
masterpiece. Ghoul School is going to be on top of this list for ages.
Yeah.
Well,
I
until
wouldn't
we
say
get to
ages.
Zombie Island.
Yeah,
So
Zombie
not that
Island
long.
comes up pretty quick.
I don't know. Cyber Chase is amazing.
We'll get to those when we get to those.
They're
And we
coming
can debate
soonish.
then. They are coming soonish. The giant ape takes the car out of the ditch. He's a super nice giant ape. Go giant ape.
I don't know. The giant ape later feels like oddly sexual in some scenes.
Yeah,
This
he
whole
definitely
movie has a weird, oddly sexual scene.
Well,
he definitely wanted to fuck Scooby.
Scooby
Yeah.
wanted to fuck Shaggy later on. So
uh,
that was weird. What was going on that day in the studio?
Hey, gay people were repressed in the 80s.
That doesn't mean bestiality. What?
I don't know.
So Scooby starts driving the car, and they get pulled over by Sheriff Rufus Busby, who warns them about the estate being haunted and that they should return home. The giant ape is spying on them the entire time. Before he can fully convince them to go home, he receives a call saying that a circus train has derailed and the circus animals have escaped. Shaggy, Scooby, and Scrappy continue driving down an increasingly spooky road which passes through the family cemetery, and they encounter a headless horseman, a ghost wolf, and the ghost of a soldier who's later revealed to be the ghost of Colonel Beauregard, Shaggy's uncle.
for this
course.
being a Southern Gothic, I have to complain about the Headless Horseman.
He's from the north.
He's from the North. He's from New York.
He's a
And
fucking
this is a whole
Yankee.
Southern Gothic piece.
Shaggy wants to leave as they get to the house. They go to turn around, but the engine starts to flood and they are not able to leave. They then go to break down the doors, but they open on their own, supposedly, and they crash into the fireplace. But they didn't open on their own. Because who's there? Who opened the door?
Farquaad,
world's-
Lord Farquaad,
The world's creepiest butler.
Lord Farquaad.
Yeah, Lord Farquaad has fallen on some hard times.
No. This is just an ancestor or a descendant.
Descendant, or is this Farquaad's origin story?
Ooh,
Because remember,
he
Farquaad
gets-
gets given a diamond. That's how he
That's
funds.
true.
That's how
This
he
is
funds his kingdom.
that's true.
So Farquaad tells Shaggy, Scooby, and Scrappy that there's a vast fortune in jewels hidden somewhere on the estate, and that they shouldn't be scared of the ghosts because they can't hurt them, as a sword is thrown into the building straight at Shaggy's head.
It's never confirmed who throws that.
I
She
thought it
told
was
the
the main villain, but
No. Remember at the end? You don't remember at the
oh
end.
yeah, I do remember at the end. I do. I remember the end.
Okay.
I
Believe
mean, it
me,
could be from. Go ahead.
I debated turning this thing off before the end, but I didn't.
You can't. You're the one reviewing it.
I could have found a real fucking plot synopsis online.
If you live in like Wikipedia, you are correct tonight.
Farquaad thinks the treasure is rightfully his, and Shaggy has no business being there. Sheriff
It's because
Busby,
they're northern.
they are, yeah. Sheriff Busby comes back to warn them about an escaped circus ape and tells them that the story of the jewels is hogwash. Farquaad says that the ape isn't real, it's a ghost, but the ape seems confused by being called a ghost because he's now also in the house. And he reveals himself to Scooby, who's been hiding. Scooby goes out, tells the sheriff, "Hey, the ape's here, the ape's here." And they go into the room where the ape supposedly is, and they see what is clearly like a stuffed ape, and the sheriff pulls his gun out, and Farquaad says, "This I did write some lines that did get laughs out of me. This is one of them." The sheriff points his gun at the stuffed ape and says, "Raise your arms, or I'll shoot." And Farquaad says, "He can't raise his arms, Sheriff. He's stuffed." And the sheriff responds with, "I don't care how much he ate." It was a good line, I thought.
Mood.
The real ape is also hiding behind the stuffed ape. That was a good gag. Scrappy then takes they leave. It's a stuffed ape. Who cares? As the sheriff is leaving and Farquaad is escorting him out, a diamond ring falls out of Farquaad's pocket that Scrappy takes, and it says it's for Shaggy on the inside. He gives it to Shaggy and says, "Look, there probably is a treasure." Shaggy's like, "I don't give a shit about any treasure. We're leaving." But before they can do that, his car sinks into quicksand. So they have to spend the night because no one can get it out until the morning. So ghosts are haunting the place, doing all the classic haunts, making a candle relight itself, riding an old timey bike through the bedroom,
Don't
the
don't
classics.
forget Shaggy's pants did like a little breakdance. Better
They
than the
did.
Australian lady.
They did do that. So
My
Scrappy,
favorite ghost haunting is when the My Pants dance.
I like when they ride on the ancient bikes.
That's also a good one.
Yeah, that's the classics. So what do you do when this is happening? When your dancer or your pants are dancing on their own and bikes are being ridden through your house? You call some ghost exterminators. Scrappy calls the Boo Brothers, Miko, Freako, and Shriko, who are actual ghosts.
Ugh, I hate them.
They've been hired to hunt down the ghosts and exterminate them. They're not good at it. They exterminate 0 ghosts.
They try.
Hardly.
They're orphans, Frankie.
They're barely in the movie. It is bold to call this movie Meets the Boo Brothers.
I mean, the name is they are met. The title is correct.
It's bold to have them in the title. It should be called Scooby-Doo's Hillbilly Adventure. The Hillbillies are in this movie way more than the Boo Brothers.
Also, on the opposite page from the Boo Brothers ad is an ad for Ghostbusters.
Really?
There
There
was,
is.
yeah. They
That's
have the
awesome.
logo. They just have the logo.
They had a knockoff logo.
A legally distinguishable logo.
Yeah.
So they're like, "Look, we can do this. Let us demonstrate our abilities with the demonstrator," which is just like a wind-up toy. They can't catch that either. It takes them through the entire fucking house, resulting in the destruction of probably a priceless chandelier.
Yeah, do we
It
really
could be
care?
cut glass at that point.
During this entire chase, the neighbor, Sadie Mae Scroggins, comes over to borrow some molasses.
Hey, by the way, this is one of Shaggy's first love interests. There's a bunch of them, so get ready.
I wouldn't say love interest.
Not this time.
She's in love with him.
Yeah,
If
but
you
he
go
is not.
If you go on
I
to
think the only other option she has is her brother.
What about the sheriff?
I wouldn't want to fuck the sheriff either.
What about Farquaad?
Wouldn't want to. Out of all of them, Shaggy most fuckable, and you can't deny that, Frankie.
I'm not denying it, but Shaggy doesn't want the fuck.
At
He
least
does
you
not consent to this.
He is
At least-
assaulted multiple times in this movie.
I know. But if you go onto the Wikipedia page that says list of Shaggy's love interests, she is on there.
That's
That's a Wikipedia page.
Yeah, I looked it up.
The demonstrator starts a record, causing everyone to stop the chase and dance, and then it starts breakdancing away from the
Yeah.
Boo Brothers attacks. Maybe the Australian
Better.
girl should have watched like the beginning of this movie
Yeah, I
to get some
know.
ideas.
Next
Anyway,
time.
Sadie, next time there won't be a
Yeah.
next time. They got rid of
2028.
she killed. It's already removed. It's confirmed.
Oh,
Really?
She
Did they
killed
really?
Breaking. I just saw
Did they-
when I was looking up the scores, I saw a news report that confirmed that Breaking is dead at the Olympics.
That
She
is
killed
so
me?
sad.
I don't think she personally killed it, but like we can blame her if we want to.
That's hilarious.
It's not.
I'm gonna.
Sadie Mae's brother, then, Billy Bob Scroggins, shows up and threatens Shaggy with a gun. The Scroggins family apparently has a 145-year-old feud with the Beauregard family. And after learning that Shaggy is related to the Colonel, Billy Bob has his entire family shoot at Shaggy.
That's dope.
Okay, so this movie is made in the 80s. I assume it's set in that same year, maybe the 60s. If we're going back to when Scooby-Doo originally aired.
Maybe. Okay.
And the Colonel was old during the Civil War.
Yeah,
because
because
he
that
was a
painting.
colonel. So how fucking old was he?
This man was ancient.
This
This colonel
this
had to
math
be
ain't
ancient.
mathin'. This math ain't mathin'.
Yeah, it's not mathing.
I don't claim to be good at math, so.
However, Sadie Mae wants to marry Shaggy and takes Billy Bob's gun and wraps it around his neck.
Which, hey,
Wrong
She-
woman.
she
Mhm.
saved Shaggy's life. Let's all agree on that.
Now we begin what I'm going to call the Assassin's Creed 1 portion of the film.
Wait a minute. Which can we talk about what fucking Billy Bob is shooting? Is it like birdshot?
I don't know.
Like,
I think it's a
Not a
shotgun.
bullet.
It looks like a shotgun, but the sheriff
The
calls
ape-
it a rifle.
The ape gets hit in the ass with it, and he's fine. So I think it's like
He's a giant ape.
It's like
I think it's
BB pellets.
birdshot.
Anyway, we're beginning the Assassin's Creed 1 portion of the movie.
Why do you call it that?
Because if you ever played the first Assassin's Creed game, you go to a town and there's like 3 things to do in each town. You do them, you go to the next town, you have the same 3 things to do. You do them, you go to the next town, you have the same 3 things to do. Rinse, wash, repeat through the entirety of the
right.
game.
All right,
And this
I get
entire movie is rinse, wash, and repeat.
I get it. They find a clue.
They find a
Something's
clue.
gonna happen.
Scrappy solves the clue. They're on their way to go get to the new clue. They get shot at. Something chases them, and then someone is scared away by a giant ape or a skeleton wizard.
Skeleton wizard.
He's got a fucking cape on. This man, he's a skeleton wizard.
I like it. I like
Love
it.
a good cape.
Technically, I was watching this on Boomerang, and the subtitles referred to him as the skeleton monster.
Yeah, but I think skeleton wizard is a better description.
I agree with you.
I watched this on Daily Motion.
So did Hannah.
Same.
Fucking fully up there.
Well, you won't have to do that for long because Boomerang's coming to Max.
Yeah, and I have Max now, so. Scrappy wants to look for clues to find the missing diamonds. Shaggy wants to eat, but there's something in the fridge. What's in the fridge? The Boo Brothers eating all the food. Scooby, with his fucking potty mouth over there, calls them ding-alongs.
Ding-alongs?
Oh, sorry, I wrote that wrong. Ding-a-lings. Sorry.
No, I like ding-alongs better.
I was gonna say.
They look for ice cream, but instead they find a diamond in the ice tray and a letter to Shaggy. The uncle knew that Shaggy loves to eat, so he hid the letter there.
How close are they?
I don't know. We've never heard of Uncle
Isn't he a
Beauregard.
great uncle?
Maybe.
Because his age would suggest more like a great uncle, But he just says uncle, so that implies that
Well, I
Shaggy's
had some.
mother or father
I
is
had great uncles, and I just called them uncle.
Yeah.
okay. I mean, it makes more sense that it's a great uncle, but
It's still pretty dicey
the
on
math
age.
ain't mathing.
Yeah.
They have to go outside and look for the part of the house with its knee out, but someone is spying on them in the shadows.
I
The
will
ape.
say, real quick, I got all of these clues except for the stupid knee thing. Didn't understand it until I saw the brick fall, but I was like, what fucking knee house? Tell me I'm not the only one.
I didn't
I
get that
could
clue.
not solve the first clue.
Thank you. All right.
The
That
ape
makes
wants to hang out with Scooby, it seems, but Scooby is so scared, and I feel bad for the ape.
Yeah. And you were picking on him for even being in this movie.
Well, he shouldn't be in the movie. He's useless. But
Hey!
Sadie finds Shaggy though and starts kissing him non-consensually. This is assault number 1.
Behind a bush. And she's moaning.
Then Billy Bob starts shooting at him, but he's scared away by the giant ape, and everyone else is scared away by the giant ape, but except for Scrappy. And a brick falls on the ape's head and knocks him out. And Scrappy figures out that the clue means chimney.
Ah, yeah.
A very stupid clue. At the very top of the chimney is another diamond. Also, imagine this old man just fucking like climbing the roof of his building.
Over 100, almost like, yeah, over 100 years old.
Climbing up there to fucking hide shit. Anyway, at the very top is another diamond and a letter. But aha, the skeleton wizard appears with his stylish cape.
Wait, I have a question. Just real quick. This old guy, he did a scavenger hunt right before he died. He was ancient.
Mm-hmm.
How the fuck did he do all of this when he was like on his deathbed? Was
Well,
was
he's
this pre-prepared, or like did he do it like while he was like?
he's apparently got a
nothing?
skeleton wizard that roams the area. I don't know.
No,
He had the ghost ape do it.
Yeah,
We
the
didn't
skeleton.
mention earlier, but Farquaad mentioned that the stuffed ape's ghost roams the halls of the manor.
Maybe the ape was alive. They did this when the ape was alive.
Looks like he had a lobotomy, so I don't know if we should be trusting anything that Farquaad says.
That's true. The skeleton wizard tells them that they must pay because they were warned to leave. The Boo brothers emerge, scare the skeleton wizard away, but they get stuck in the chimney. Shriko goes to save the boys, but he's pulled down with them. And then they do a fucking updock joke. What the fuck is this shit?
Bugs Bunny.
So who's everyone's favorite Boo brother?
Who's everyone's favorite Boo brother?
Rob Paulson, Shriko.
I want to say Shriko, but they gave him the worst jokes.
Minus the one in the baseball cap because he doesn't do shit.
Miko.
Yeah.
Mine is Frico, the one who beats up the other two.
Okay. And Amanda said Shriko, so we all have a different favorite.
We all have our own Boo brother.
I am Shriko.
I kind of hate how nicely these align.
Yeah. The sheriff comes back and asks Shaggy what he wants because Shaggy had called him or called the police department to come help them out. But Billy Bob is there and he is shooting at Shaggy, which means he's now shooting at the sheriff, and he shoots the sheriff's hat and pants off. And now Billy Bob's getting a citation. But
isn't it illegal to shoot at a cop?
it's illegal to shoot at anyone, first of all.
No, it's only illegal to shoot at cops.
But Billy Bob is now getting a citation. But then, before he can write the citation, there's more trouble at the circus train. So Billy Bob then shoots the car, and the sheriff's had it now. Now Billy Bob's getting 2 tickets. Billy then blows himself up with his leaking gunpowder.
Best scene in the whole film.
By the way, we have a clue.
Have we read the clue yet?
No, we're just now at the point where we're reading the clue. Because, remember, after every treasure find, we have to have Billy come and shoot at them. And a ghost show up, and someone gets scared away by an ape, or the Boo Brothers, or a different ghost that's shown up, apparently.
We had all, 5 of those things happen this time, so I forgot if we read the clue or not.
Yeah. The new clue says that a broken key unlocks the next door.
How quick would it take you if you were in Shaggy's shoes, how long would it take you to figure out it meant a piano key? Because I feel like I could do it pretty quickly if I walked in and I saw a piano.
Yeah, I would agree with that. But like, if somebody was just like, search this house for a broken key, it takes a while.
I take 5 years. Yeah.
Yeah,
the ape is with them. He doesn't know. The ape doesn't know what the clue means either, guys. So just so we're clear about that. Yeah.
I like how you say that this ape doesn't need to be in here, but
The ape doesn't need to be in there, but he's in there so fucking much.
But you're just providing like this. It feels like commentary about what the ape is doing.
Because he's in there so much, and there's no point.
So there is a point.
Billy starts shooting at the ape, and the ape takes the gun and shoots Billy. Then
And this is how Planet of the Apes was born.
Then we're inside, and the skeleton wizard starts threatening Scrappy, and Scrappy bites the cape, which causes the skeleton to run away.
Why does Scrappy have human teeth?
I don't know.
I think he broke Frankie.
The piano starts going off, and Scrappy thinks the skeleton is there, even though he ran the opposite way. So he's gonna hit the piano to give him an earful because he thinks he's in the piano.
He does. A puppy.
He's the smartest one in this fucking movie.
There's one brain cell, and he is holding on to it for dear life.
Shaggy and Scooby are in the piano, and when they jump out, they hit a broken key.
Well, no, you forgot. They get real pissed at Scrappy.
They do get pissed at Scrappy, but they hit a broken key by accident on the piano, and it opens a secret wall. But guess who's here? It's the skeleton wizard. He hits the key again, trapping the boys behind the wall with a disgusting face. But guess what? It's just Shriko. And now the other Boo brothers are here to give their scary faces, but they don't actually do it because they just argue. Scrappy finds a diamond and a clue, and Shriko becomes a light so they can read it. And they need to
stop. To be fair, if I had siblings, none of us have siblings. We are all only children.
Yeah.
Technically, I had step siblings. If I had siblings, I feel like I would be fighting with them exactly like this.
Especially considering you are the annoying Shriko.
I am. Hey, don't call me annoying.
I love you.
You know, I made my name today, Ass Splinter, as a joke because you said you were going to get a splinter in your butt by sitting on a park bench today.
It was a very rotten bench.
Now I'm thinking that you are, in fact, the Ass Splinter, Hannah. You are the Ass Splinter. Go ahead. Continue, Frankie.
They have to find a relative who is old, whose face cannot see and hands cannot hold. But they're trapped behind a wall. Boo Brothers tell them, just go through the wall.
I thought it was the painting. When this
I did too.
Did anybody else think it was the painting?
I did.
Okay, thank you.
I can see where you get that. I remembered it was grandfather clock. Spoiler. From watching the film as a kid.
Yeah. But the gang...
I can definitely see where you would go for painting.
Our 3-person gang can't go through walls because they're not ghosts.
Well, my conspiracy theory is dead in the water.
Yeah. The Boo Brothers can go through, though, so Shriko is told to go through and hit the broken key, but instead he starts playing a whole song. Frico comes out.
He was good at the piano.
That's true. Frico comes out, beats him up, and then he hits the key to open the wall. They're going to go hunt the ghosts now, but Miko doesn't want to, so he hides as part of the grandfather clock, but he's caught immediately. But guess what? That clock is the answer. Woohoo! Yay! Woo! We did it! Another clue.
Down. And we're only like 30 minutes in.
Oh my god. I looked at the clock at this point and I was like, we have a fucking hour left. Oh no. The next clue says there is no pendulum in this clock, so what does it lack besides a talk? Scooby says a tick. Scooby solves this one.
I quickly said a tick as well.
I thought they meant like a tick, like they were gonna have to go search the grass
for ticks.
Leave me alone.
I got it. It said a tick. I understood that it wanted to say a tick, but I did not. I would never have guessed attic.
Yeah. So Scrappy knows what it means, but before you can tell them, he's taken by someone who is obviously Farquaad, who then steals the diamond. But apparently Scrappy beats him up because he runs away after he takes the diamond. And Shaggy just says, let him have it. Who cares? We're going to find more. So Scrappy says the next clue is in the attic. Scooby gets scared by a mirror, and Shaggy calls him a scaredy cat. So Scooby dresses up as a ghost and scares Shaggy. Meanwhile, Scrappy, who's the only one doing any actual work, finds the next treasure. But a real ghost, not a real ghost, but another ghost who's just a fucking coat with skeleton hands, who is the voice actor for Billy and just sounds like Billy. I thought it was Billy. Appears and takes the diamond and tells them to leave. Scrappy bites the coat, and the coat drags Scrappy along until they reach a trap door, and whoever is in the coat drops down the trap door to escape. They find the trap door, but guess what? The guy who stole the diamond didn't actually take the clue with them because they're stupid. So Shaggy reads the next clue, and it is, what are you called if you aren't the buyer?
Seller.
But before they can go to the cellar, they hear a knocking at the door and it opening, and they're all scared. And it's Farquaad fixing a door. And he has the necklace that was just stolen from them. So Scrappy takes it back. But then the Colonel's ghost shows up and steals the necklace.
He doesn't just take it back. He pickpockets, which is where we see more of Scrappy's gang activity.
That's true. So Scrappy's able to pickpocket Farquaad, and then the Colonel's ghost comes, steals the necklace, and chases them outside. But Billy's there with his gun. The Boo brothers then go to fight the Colonel's ghost off, and they do so with pranks. The gang inadvertently end up in the cellar, where they need to be anyway. Nice job, Hannah, on that solve.
Wasn't a hard clue.
That wasn't, no.
Yeah, that one was pretty easy.
While they're in the cellar, Scooby finds a room with just hams hanging out. Ton of hams.
He starts eating the ham.
I would not have eaten any of those hams.
Well, yeah. Ham is, you never feed a dog ham.
Why?
It's bad for them.
Scooby-Doo's not a real dog.
Yeah, but dogs can't eat pork.
Scooby's a mutant.
That's a little sad. Dogs can't eat pork? So, like, whenever we flavor things as bacon flavor,
they can't have real bacon.
We're just taunting them.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that's so cruel!
While Scooby is eating this ham, a cannon is rolling towards them. He grabs another ham, and inside of it is a necklace and a clue. The cannon reaches them, but it's just a prank by Shriko.
It's just a prank, bro.
And then the cannon is lit, firing Shriko into the fucking wall.
I'm convinced that was just one of his brothers doing that.
It would have had to been Miko, because Frico is the one who's already outside. Anyway.
Hannah would launch me out of a cannon.
Would you?
Yeah, I would.
So we read the next clue, and it says, it is large and flat, the kind of stone you wear as a hat. And Scrappy says it's a headstone in the cemetery. They leave the house, and they're like, all right, guys, we're going to be on the lookout. There's a fucking mad hillbilly with a gun. They think they've avoided him. They just start insulting him. But it turns out he's behind them. He's about to start shooting, but the sheriff arrives, and his tire is shot. And then he is taken out by Scrappy with a fucking shoulder tackle. And then Billy is about to shoot at Shaggy, and Scrappy takes out Billy, and the shot goes up and takes out a branch that then knocks down the sheriff again. And then the sheriff shoots a warning shot, and it hits a branch that knocks him down. And then he's taken out by an entire fucking tree.
That Billy Bob shot down.
Billy Bob's gun is super weak and strong at the same time.
It also has been, like, bent in half, like, 5 different times.
He has to... It's been broken at one point. He has to just have a bunch of guns. If I know anything about white Southern men,
they own a lot of guns. So Scrappy tells Billy that Scooby and Shaggy are in a cave, and Billy fires into the cave. But guess who lives in that cave? It's a bear, and the bear chases Billy away. Guess who else is in this?
Choose the bear.
Guess who else is in the cemetery, though? It's the skeleton wizard. He's back, and he tries to bury Shaggy and Scooby alive. Meanwhile, Scrappy's found the Colonel's headstone, and he leads Shaggy and Scooby there, and the hat starts moving, and they're like, that must be where the treasure is. So they take off the hat to find the treasure and the clue, but the Colonel's ghost grabs it first. Scrappy just fucking steals it from the ghost,
and they all hide in a mausoleum. But the skeleton wizard is in the mausoleum, and they fall through a trapdoor. The skeleton wizard is like, "Hey, you gotta send up the treasure and the clue, or else." But before he can say "or else what," he is scared away. He runs away, and why does he run away? The giant ape is there.
Hell yeah, it's Grape Ape.
I wish it was Grape Ape. The giant ape starts petting Scooby, and Scooby thinks it's Shaggy, so he starts petting Shaggy, and they make it seem like Scooby wants to fuck Shaggy at this point. It was very weird and bizarre.
If
It's the only time.
you started scratching my head, Frankie, I might make those noises.
Okay.
What? Have you? Well, you're probably gonna answer no. Have you never gotten like a massage or anything and like accidentally moaned? One of my best friends is a masseuse. I have been massaged by her. I have moaned when she has hit a knot. It doesn't have to be sexual.
But that's not what happened. No. It is the way they draw Scooby's face is very bizarre. It's just a weird scene, and it's unsettling, and I didn't like it.
The ape grabs them, pulls them out. Scrappy is getting the sheriff, though, to save Shaggy and Scooby because he was able to get out.
Real quick, when the ape pulls them out, Shaggy drops the clue, but then later has the clue.
Yeah. They
Don't
just
question
forgot
it.
about that. Yeah.
You didn't see that.
No. As Scrappy is talking to the sheriff, Scooby and Shaggy run by, and Scrappy's like, "All right, they don't need your help." He runs after them, and the ape is still chasing them, and he scares the sheriff out of his clothes. Shaggy has a feeling someone is watching them. He dismisses the feeling, but then Billy emerges, and he's taken out by Sadie, and then they start switching who's following Shaggy and who's taking the other one out. And during this entire time, Shaggy is giving a monologue that no one's behind him, despite the feeling, and he's just got to believe that no one's behind him. And he's like talking about it the whole time as their like brother and sister are fucking like murdering each other behind him. But then, as Billy is about to shoot Shaggy, the skeleton wizard shows up and scares off Billy.
What is it about Sadie that Shaggy doesn't like, aside from the assaults? She's very attractive.
I mean, yeah, but then if someone assaults you, that really like puts you off of them.
I said aside from the assault, if we take that out of the picture for a minute, because she didn't assault him at first when they first met. She asked for what, a cup of molasses?
Yeah, but
she asked a dog.
Yeah, she has Scrappy for the molasses. As soon as she saw Shaggy, she just starts like grabbing him.
Oh, that's fair. I don't remember.
Shaggy reads the clue and it says, "If you go buggy, you won't need a horse."
Gee, I wonder what that could mean.
It's obviously the swimming pool.
I was muted for a minute. That was good. That actually got me.
So they go to the stable, or they figure out the clue is the stable, but someone's trying to like listen in on in the room, and it's Farquaad who gets scared off by Frico. The gang goes to the stable and they struggle to open the door. Inside is the headless horseman, but it turns out it's just a mechanical horse and a dummy rider.
They went to Spirit Halloween. That's from Spirit Halloween.
Yeah, it's good. It's a good one.
Scooby turns on the horse while he's on it and starts moving. Daisy is hiding in the fucking hay bale, or the hay shelf up the top. Grabs Shaggy.
Shelf?
The hay shelf, yeah.
Would you like to try the word hayloft?
Hayloft. I like hay shelf better. It's like a shelf for hay.
He probably calls it a shelf.
But Daisy's up there as Shaggy's climbing up, and this is assault number 2.
I'm amazed we're only at 2.
Well, she's been mostly trying to stop her brother from killing him.
She's been trying multiple times, but she always gets foiled.
They fall into the buggy, and the buggy starts going off on its own with Daisy and Shaggy in the back, and then the sheriff almost fucking crashes head on into them. The buggy crashes into the well. Shaggy falls in the mud. Daisy ends up in a tree. Shaggy's like, "I'm not fucking helping you down from the tree. Bye." He starts running away. But then Scooby is on the horse, and the horse is chasing after the sheriff, who gets hit into the lake by the horse while he's yelling, "Hit the switch, hit the switch." Shaggy is suspicious that the sheriff knows how to turn off the horse, but no one else seems to care that he is suspicious about this. And they're like, "You're fucking stupid. You're being paranoid."
Well, they just think that the sheriff bought the same thing from Spirit Halloween.
But guess who was right the whole time? Spoilers alert. It was Shaggy. The ape is following them and hears Scrappy insulting him because Scrappy thinks he's talking to Shaggy and Scooby. But then Scrappy says that he feels bad for the ape, and the ape's probably just scared about everything that's happening right now. And then the skeleton wizard shows up again, and the skeleton wizard scares the ape away, and the ape scares the skeleton wizard away.
This was the
This
most pointless scene.
It was fucking, oh my god. Oh. Scrappy finds treasure in the buggy and the clue is to get to the bottom of things is the next trick. Think how you're feeling when you're not sick.
Well,
Yeah, it's the well.
And they're right by it.
They're right there. Yay. So he goes to the bottom in the bucket, but Billy shows up and chases Scooby and Shaggy with his gun. So Scooby and Shaggy jump on the rope to go down in the well, but the rope breaks as they're going down, and Billy's gonna fucking shoot right in the well. It's like shooting fish in a barrel. But Sadie shows up, knots up the gun, and Billy shoots himself.
At least, as much as she should be ashamed of herself for assaulting Shaggy, at least she can say that she saved a life.
Multiple lives.
Multiple
multiple
lives.
times.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Shaggy at the bottom of the well falls through a fake wall, and they find the next treasure and clue. This one really isn't it's not really a clue, I guess. I mean, it is, but like it's not a riddle like the other ones.
Hey, the writers can only do so much.
It just says at the end of this tunnel are many more pearls, but also many more perils. They find a hatch that leads to the cemetery, and also the Colonel's ghost is there. So the Colonel's ghost chases them into the tunnel, and he activates all the booby traps, and the gang dodge all the booby traps.
He calls them boobs. You missed that.
Did
he says,
he?
He does call them boobs.
I'm going to activate the trap, you boobs.
I didn't hear that.
Oh, it cracked me up. He said boobs. That's hilarious. I used to spell that on my calculator.
This movie sucked all the energy out of me. I'm a fucking husk. They dodge all the booby traps, but now they're being chased somehow by a steamroller.
It's my favorite part.
I don't know where the steamroller came from.
He rented it in the afterlife.
They have rental places in the afterlife.
Yeah.
And then they find another secret wall that leads to the basement, and they find more treasure and clues. And they go upstairs, and there's now a ton of ghosts in the house because the Boo Brothers are having a party. I didn't catch all of the names of the Boo Brothers family, but one of them is wearing like the
80s clothes?
what?
80s clothes?
Yeah, one of them's wearing like 80s clothes, and one of them is wearing like a headscarf, like an Arabic headscarf.
Oh, it's
His
Chico.
name is Chico. Yeah, they're all like fucking like that's their name basis. One of them is called Hide and Seeko because he's always trying to find himself. That one was good. Good joke, I guess. I don't know.
There was a Frankenstein monster one.
Yeah.
Creepo.
There were vampire ones.
So Shaggy kicks them all out, including the Boo Brothers, who he calls a bunch of nerds. But then the Boo Brothers tell us a sad tale. They're orphan ghosts. They have nowhere else to go. That's why they took this job. They're trying to make enough money so they can buy a nice little creepy house. They're all sad. Scrappy and Scooby and Shaggy are all fucking moved by this tale of woe.
The
So-
ape is too.
The ape is too. You're right. So they rehire the Boo Brothers, but they gotta fucking get a ghost this time. This is the
Spoiler
last
alert.
straw.
They don't.
They don't get any ghosts, but they do save them.
I guess. Technically.
So the next clue. Oh, Shaggy. After they rehire them, Shaggy says it takes real talent to be as dumb as those guys. Another insult.
I guess at this point, Shaggy is still somewhat smart.
Yeah.
Like we haven't reached that. He's just a stoner, but we can't say he's a stoner.
No, we haven't reached that point yet. And he has to be smart because there's like no one else there to be smart.
That's true. We got 2 other movies where it's just him and the dogs.
Well, Scrappy's there to be smart for everybody, apparently.
That's true. So the next clue is literally just, inside the bear cave. Just go to the bear cave.
The colonel gave up at this
The
point.
colonel's like, I'm sick of these fucking puzzles. Go to the bear cave.
Well, he was busy dying, you know?
And yeah, but honestly, the worst place to hide a treasure, the fucking bear cave.
Well, it gets worse because technically the bear cave is in the last spot.
I know. So Billy starts shooting at them again, and after they go outside, and this is what I wrote. I hate this movie so much. I'm honestly so bored this entire time. It's the same thing all the time. So they're going to the cave. Shaggy's hungry. He wants to eat food. He's describing the food he wants to eat. They hear growling and they think it's the bear, but it's just Scooby's stomach. Scooby eats a bunch of berries and he grabs one last berry, but it's not a berry. It's the bear's nose. And now the bear is chasing them into the cave.
I thought it was, I was afraid for a minute. I thought it was a toe. I thought we were getting real weird.
So they find the jewel and the note in the cave and they're about to leave, but a car tries to run them down. A driverless car. Uh-oh, it's Shaggy's car. So they can't leave because the bear is at the entrance of the cave and the car is behind them, about to run them over. They dodge the car and it chases off the bear. My next note is, God, this is the same thing endlessly. Fucking stop the pain. This is when I started
The
feeling.
car was different.
That's where I started feeling physically ill from the movie. Like, that I had just eaten dinner when I watched this movie, but you know that pain you get sometimes when you're hungry, like your stomach just starts to hurt because you're so hungry.
No.
You ever had that before? Yeah, it was a physical pain from this movie. Apparently, the skeleton wizard has a fucking remote control that he installed in the car. I don't know. Now the colonel is chasing them while they're in the car, and the car stalls while they're on a rope bridge, and the bridge starts being chopped, but they are able to get the car to start right before it falls down, and they get back to the house. The
I think I
ape,
dissociated during this part because I don't remember it.
they get in the house, and the ape now steals the jewels. This is fucking miserable. I'm so upset. I just want this to end.
Can you just stop and continue?
I have to read my notes how they're written.
That's how you write your notes?
I wrote, the ape steals the jewels this time, and this is miserable. I want this to end.
Jesus Christ.
Scrappy makes a deal with him, so they let him ride on the mechanical horse if he gives them the jewel and the clue.
I thought he was gonna give him like
Scooby?
a time with Scooby, yeah.
I did too. So they're gonna call the sheriff and be like, hey, look, the ape is here, but the phone line is pulled. So they read the next clue, and I just couldn't be bothered to write down what it said. But it leads them to the boathouse. This one was actually a little bit of a puzzle, though, to be fair. I guess the colonel said for the last one, I'm going to do a puzzle again.
It wasn't that hard. They just spelt pier like you would
Differently, yeah.
yeah. So you look at it and you're like, go to the pier.
Yeah. So the skeleton wizard is already in the boathouse, and he scares them, and they fall in the boat, and it starts to leak. But it has the final clue. The final clue is the treasure is in the fireplace.
He really gave up here.
And then the skeleton wizard goes, thanks for fucking telling me where it is, you fucking dumbasses, you idiots, you buffoons. And he throws a net on them and starts the leaking boat and sends it off into the water. And they're gonna, I guess the boat will sink and then the net will come off of them and they can just swim up.
Yeah,
Like they didn't show any alligators or crocs or anything.
Yeah, there's nothing like dangerous in the water, so they can just like get out of it very easily. They're in no danger. But who's here? The Boo Brothers. They save the gang from, I guess, getting slightly wet and speed them into the house where we see the ghost is about to pull the most obvious secret lever on the fireplace. How has no one pulled this before?
But he actually says, "Where's the lever?"
Yeah, he says, "Where's the lever?" And then they show it to us. And I'm like, how has no one pulled this? Just like accidentally found the treasure. He pulls it, and a fucking slot machine starts going off on the fireplace, and treasure pours out of the fireplace and traps the ghost. The skeleton wizard is trapped.
I can't get over you saying the skeleton wizard.
And they pull the mask off, and it is the sheriff's brother, TJ. You know, your favorite character, TJ.
The one that they totally told us about.
Everyone loves TJ. Well, now they hate him because they found out he's a skeleton wizard. But yeah, it's the sheriff's brother, TJ. The real sheriff shows up with a fucking thick mustache.
It's a nice stash.
And he's like, yeah, he loves to fucking impersonate me. We're twins. Except
Does
for
he
this.
say we're twins?
He doesn't say we're twins. I added that.
Does anyone else get the feeling that the real sheriff was tied up like by his brother and he only just got out?
Probably.
Because that's the vibe I got as a kid.
We'll never know what happened to the real sheriff. We'll never ever know what happened to Sheriff Busby.
Do you really want to know, though?
I want to know how he grew that cool stash.
Beard oil.
So Scooby finds the Colonel Ghost costume and pretends to be him and scares Shaggy. And then he's like, it was a fucking another joke. Got you again, bitch. Scooby's a fucking like pranker in this movie. They finally get to eat food, though. A real win for Shaggy and Scooby.
It is a win for them.
So they're eating, and dessert's there. Farquaad comes and delivers dessert. And what's dessert? It's the Boo Brothers, because the Boo Brothers have fucking eaten the cake.
And also because Farquaad got one singular diamond, he's happy and willing to work for Shaggy now.
Yeah, he's chill now.
And then he eventually leaves and takes over an entire kingdom and tries to kill all the fairy tale characters.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
So Shaggy is like, look, guys, to the Boo Brothers, he's like, look, you guys need a home? You can have the mansion. You're able to haunt this mansion.
I don't want to live in the South anymore.
I don't want to live here. There's a fucking hillbilly who keeps trying to assault me. There's another hillbilly who keeps trying to fucking shoot me. I'm done.
All the Confederate money my uncle left me, keep it.
No, it's going into the Beauregard Trust Fund for Orphans.
Yeah.
So they're going home, and as they're driving away, they encounter the ghost of Colonel Beauregard once more. And Shaggy's like, hey, a real funny Scooby. And Scooby's like, it's not me, not a joke. And it's real. So they fucking just drive away as fast as they can. And I was given a merciful end. And like I said, my last lines of note, this movie fucking sucks. It's worse than I remembered it.
You're such a baby.
It's so bad. It's bad. It is a bad movie.
I'm not saying it's good. I'm just saying you're a little wimp.
Okay. It's a bad movie.
Idea. You know how some of the more recent Scooby-Doo films were like Return to Zombie Island and like Return to the 13th Ghost or whatever?
Let's return to the Boo Brothers.
Yeah, Return to the Boo Brothers. Have the gang meet them.
Have Thelma fucking beat the shit out of them.
Just tell them to their face they're not real.
They're fucking stupid.
Yeah. Be like, and then they can be like, your uncle was a Confederate soldier in the Civil War, and Shaggy's there like, yeah, we don't talk about it.
Man, that I had a miserable time watching this movie. If you couldn't tell from the everything this episode, miserable time.
But you
It's
did
obviously. What'd you say?
it. You did it. You made it through.
I mean, all right, rankings. It's obviously better than Scooby Goes Hollywood
Damn right it is.
because that was trash. But I can guarantee you, this is gonna be number one for until we have another movie. I cannot foresee anything being worse than this.
Arabian Nights.
Yeah.
I've never seen Arabian Nights.
It can barely be called Scooby-Doo.
You know what? Maybe it'll be better than this then. I don't know.
It won't. It won't. It's going at the bottom. Scooby Goes Hollywood is better.
Wow. Bold claims from Hannah. So that is the end of Scooby-Doo meets the Boo Brothers. We're done with it. We don't have to fucking talk about it anymore. The Boo Brothers are
Not
gone.
until Hanna-Barbera, here's my idea, and they're like, yeah, let's do a Brothers sequel.
Let's do it.
But next week, next month,
Next Scooby-Doo.
next Scooby-Doo time, we are not reviewing another movie.
Not yet.
We are visiting what Amanda is very excited for. A show that I think we're all pretty excited for.
I'm so excited.
It's safe to say we all grew up watching this one.
Unpopular opinion, I was not a fan of this one as a kid.
Wow.
Go away.
Bold,
Here's the thing, I'm very open and willing to be proven wrong.
has what I think is the second best intro
Yeah, such good.
of all time.
So good.
The only intro that's better to me is What's New, Scooby-Doo.
Those are some bold claims.
They are. But we are
I would
reviewing
that theme song right now.
for what? For What's New, Scooby-Doo, or this is the next one?
The pup named Scooby-Doo.
Okay, yeah. Our next Scooby-Doo episode, we'll be reviewing A Pup Named Scooby-Doo. Amanda's going to be taking the first ever episode from 1988 called A Bicycle Built for Boo.
Fuck yeah, I am.
And Hannah will be doing the final episode of A Pup Named Scooby-Doo, Mayhem of the Moving Mollusk. That is what we have to look forward to next time we review Scooby-Doo. But next week, Hannah will be taking the helm of the show. So, Hannah, what are we doing?
For my Halloween episode, I'm going to talk about a cryptid.
Is it Mothman?
It's not Mothman. Mothman is on the list. He's coming up soonish. But we're not talking Mothman.
We're not talking Mothman, but we're talking a cryptid next week. So be excited for that. I'm a big cryptid fan.
Ooh, good. Maybe you'll probably have heard of this guy.
Love cryptids. Did he ever show up on famed History Channel show Monster Quest?
I'm not sure. He was on a sci-fi show called Fact or Faked.
Is this the worm that goes around by like putting his tail in his mouth and rolling?
No, it's not a worm.
That's a great cryptid too. That's a great
That
cryptid.
cryptid is also on the list, but it's not that one.
Do you know what I'm talking? I love him so much. He's my favorite. I forget what he's called. Isn't it the Mongolian death worm?
I was about to say, I think it's the Mongolian death worm.
Such a cute little guy.
I love him so much.
I think Amanda's gonna fall in love with this cryptid.
Oh, I'm certainly excited. Then.
All right.
Next week we'll be talking about a cryptid, but that will be next week. So join us then. Let's take care of some business before we end the episode. We are on both YouTube and Spotify. If you are watching us on YouTube, remember to like, comment, and subscribe, and hit that bell so you're notified whenever a new episode is released every Wednesday. If you are listening to us on Spotify, remember to leave a review of the show. That really helps. Remember to follow the show. That also helps out a lot. And answer any of the questions that are attached to the episodes. If you would like to send us an email and give us ideas for episodes, give us your thoughts about the show, ask us some questions. We'd love to answer some fan questions. You can do so by sending us an email over at
Nothing to see here podcast at gmail.com. As always, here is spelled Hear.
Put a photo of me doing pottery on our Instagram?
I did.
If you would like to see a photo of Amanda doing some pottery, if you'd like to see some artwork done by Amanda, if you'd like to see some funny memes and out of context images for each episode and previews for episodes done by Hannah, you can do so over on our Instagram page, which is
Nothing to See Here Pod.
And please recommend this show to all of your friends, all of your family, all of your enemies. Send it to people you think would like it. Send it to people you think would hate it. We'll take people who like the show. We'll take people who hate listen to the show. We don't care. We just want you to listen.
Send this to who's ever in charge of making Scooby-Doo films. I want credit for the Boo Brothers sequel.
Send us to anyone who's in charge of making Scooby-Doo things so we can become the definitive Scooby-Doo podcast.
Is
Are we
there a
about to
Scooby-Doo?
start some fights?
Is there a
Scooby-Doo
Scooby-Doo podcast? There's definitely a Scooby-Doo
There
podcast.
has to be.
Not like an official like Warner Brothers one, but if I type in just Scooby-Doo right now, there's
Someone
a
has to pop up.
there's a show called The Scooby-Doo Project. Scooby-Doo Legend of the Podcast.
That's a good one. That's a good title.
It's an
I think-
okay title.
I think they're watching like every fucking episode though. It's too much.
Oh, I think that's up there with Amanda's Disney project.
There's one called What's With You, Scooby-Doo. That one doesn't count. They haven't uploaded since fucking 2019. The Unmasked History of Scooby-Doo. Actually, none of these have uploaded since like in forever. The only one that's uploaded recently is from the Scooby-Doo Project on March 29th. So, I mean, I think we're the definitive Scooby-Doo podcast. No one can take that title from us. Are we reviewing every episode? No, but why would we?
That's too much.
That's too much. All right. Well, join us next week when we talk about an unknown cryptid as of recording. Well, Hannah knows, but the rest of us don't. But join us next week to talk about a cryptid and hear our thoughts about that. Will Amanda fall in love with the cryptid? Maybe she will. We think she will. Hannah thinks she will. Will I fall
I
in
think
love with
Amanda's gonna love this one.
Will I fall in love with the cryptid? I definitely will, because I fucking love all cryptids. They're all cool in their own unique ways. Anyway, this is all of us. We're done. Bye bye. Goodbye and good night.
Bye.